Today, we orchestrate a collision of worlds. Two ant colonies, Camponotus and Pheidole, species separated by millions of years of evolution, each a masterpiece of complex social design. They are placed into a neutral, confined arena. This is more than an ant farm. It is a geopolitical pressure cooker, where the fundamental laws of chemical identity and resource scarcity will play out with brutal clarity. The environment begins neutral. The borders exist only as a concept. The ants explore, driven by a deep-coded imperative: map, gather, report. Their universe is not built on light, but on scent. Each ant is sheathed in a complex layer of cuticular hydrocarbons, a waxy chemical signature. This is their identity document, their cultural fingerprint, the very definition of self and colony. To a nestmate, it is the smell of belonging. To an outsider, it is an alien language, often read as a threat. Observe the first contact, a meeting of ambassadors without diplomacy. Their antennae tap and taste, frantically decoding the other's chemical cipher. The neural processing is instantaneous and unforgiving. Does this signature match the stored template of the colony? For these two species, the answer is a biological mismatch, a foreign protocol, an error in the system. Diplomacy evaporates in milliseconds. The alarm is broadcast not by sound, but by pheromone, a panic signal released into the air, a call to arms that galvanizes the colony. It begins with ritualized threat. Bodies tense, abdomens raise, mandibles gape wide in silent roars. But in this sealed universe, there is no room for empty posturing. Retreat only cedes ground. The logic is inexorable. The conflict escalates from display to lethal force. This is not hatred, it is algorithmic defense. The foreign chemical signature triggers a hardwired subroutine. Eliminate. They bite, they tear, they leverage their unique armaments, the powerful mandibles of one, the overwhelming numbers, and specialized soldiers of the other. They fight for the resource, for territory, for the existential security of the colony they represent. They are proxy soldiers, defending a queen and a homeland that exist only as a shared scent memory. What unfolds next is a stark test of strategy, morphology, and collective will. Several paths are possible, each a lesson in miniature geopolitics. Scenario 1. Total war and annihilation. If the colonies are perfectly matched in strength and aggression, a war of attrition consumes the arena. It becomes a grinding stalemate of constant combat, a drain on both sides' population and energy. The outcome is often the utter destruction of one colony, or the mutual exhaustion of both. The honey in the center may sit untouched, a monument to the cost of conflict. Scenario 2. Partition and Cold War. The most statistically probable outcome. One species gains the upper hand through superior numbers, fiercer soldiers, or faster mobilization, and seizes the critical resource. They establish a defensive perimeter, laying down territorial pheromones like a border wall. The losing group is forced into a barren corner. A tense, armed truce emerges, with constant patrols along a scent-demarcated frontier. A Cold War in a glass box, where every foray is a risk. Scenario 3. Strategic dominance and enslavement. In some unique cases, a stronger species may not simply kill invaders. They might raid the weaker colony, stealing pupa to raise as a slave caste, a grim form of assimilation, where the conquered are chemically reprogrammed to serve the conqueror. Scenario 4. Exhausted stalemate. Continuous, low-level skirmishing with no decisive victory. Both colonies remain in a state of perpetual alert, wasting energy on defense rather than growth. It is a slow, mutual decline. This microcosm holds a mirror to fundamental principles that shape our world. The bond of cooperation is forged in the same fire as the instinct for conflict. The profound unity within each colony, the altruism, the shared labor, is predicated on a rigid definition of us, and that definition requires an other. Their reality is built on chemical lines we cannot see. In those lines lie messages of kinship and of existential threat. In the vastness of a forest, colonies can maintain distance, their borders diffused by space. But here, under the pressure of confinement, there is no neutrality. The walls force a binary choice: dominate, submit, or fight to the death. This experiment is not an act of cruelty, but one of revelation. It strips away complexity to show the raw architecture of social survival. It reveals the invisible borders that define societies and the powerful, often tragic instincts that ignite when those borders are violated and space becomes the ultimate scarcity.